Augusta County is quietly spending over $140,000 a year on the Churchville Volunteer Fire Department. That's according to new budget records obtained through a Freedom of Information Act request. But here's what's raising eyebrows. The station receiving that funding isn't even owned by the county. The building is the property of a private non-profit, Churchville Volunteer Fire Department, Inc., founded in 1959. It was built in the 1950s, retrofitted in the 90s, and has never been formally upgraded to house the full-time staff now assigned there by the county. Today, several county-paid firefighters and EMS personnel live and work in that station around the clock, under a hub designation. But the space was never designed for 24/7 living. Two longtime volunteers who spoke to Breaking Through News on the condition of anonymity described the living quarters as tight and outdated. There's only one shared shower. Bunk rooms originally meant for volunteers and minimal privacy for staff working long shifts. Despite that, the county has not allocated any capital funding to improve or replace the station. Fire Chief Greg Schacht says the building is technically up to code because the Virginia statewide fire prevention code only requires compliance based on the building's original construction date. The state fire marshal agrees, but for many in the community, up to code isn't good enough when all that really means is we checked it once and that's good enough, especially when the building's use continues to expand. Internal county emails reviewed by Breaking Through News show this issue has come up repeatedly in staff and budget discussions. Still, this year's official budget earmarks $0 for facility upgrades. Instead, Churchville received one of the highest total payouts of any volunteer department, over $140,000 in general contributions, response reimbursements, insurance coverage, and fuel. Yet none of that money is clearly designated for fixing the very building housing county staff. At the same time, volunteers at the stations have reportedly built a new storage facility and acquired new equipment, even as building materials meant for improving the main station reportedly sit unused. There's also been no public disclosure of any lease, purchase agreement or formal partnership between the county and the non-profit that owns the building. That raises a key accountability question. If we're sending taxpayer-funded employees to live in a building we don't own, what exactly are we paying for, and who's in charge? This isn't just a Churchville problem. Across Augusta County, questions are growing about how fire and rescue funds are distributed and whether departments with different volunteer levels are being treated fairly or equitably resourced. In the meantime, the situation in Churchville continues with no official plan, no infrastructure funding, and no public explanation from the Board of Supervisors. As more county staff live and work in that building, the stakes grow higher, and so does the pressure for transparency. Perhaps the most pressing questions are also the most basic. What exactly are we doing? Housing our first responders in broken buildings and calling it good enough? It's not good, and it's certainly not enough. To stay updated on local government news, subscribe to Breaking Through News on YouTube or at breakingthrough.com.